Good morning to one and all. Myself Divya. I'm from ECD section. Today my concept video topic is about time shifting property Fourier series. So first let us know about time shifting properties, identifying the facts that a linear displacement in a time corresponding to a linear phase factor in the frequency domain. This becomes useful and important when we discuss filter and the effects of phase character of a filter in a time domain. The important properties of Fourier transforms are duality, linear transform, modulation property, and Traversal theorem. The time shifting property of Fourier transform states that if a signal x of t is shifted by t naught in a time domain, then the frequency spectrum is modified by linear phase shift of slope minus t naught minus omega t naught. Therefore, if x of t is Fourier transform, then x of omega, then according to the time shifting of the properties of Fourier transform, x into t minus t naught transform to e power j minus omega t naught into x of omega t. This is the time shifting property in Fourier transform. Let us know some properties about the Fourier Fourier series. Linear property where x of t is f of x, then y of t is y of x, Fourier series coefficient. Then the linear property states that a of x of t plus b of y of t is given as a into f of x of t plus b into y of t. This is the linear property. Time shifting property is nothing but x of t. Fourier series coefficient is f of x of t. Then time shifting property states that x into x minus t naught, where e is e minus j omega naught t naught into f of x of t, is the time shifting property. Then frequency shifting property. This is the another property where x of t is equals to f of x of t. Then the frequency shifting property is e into j power n e power j n omega naught t naught into x of t gives rise to f of x into n minus n naught. This is the frequency shifting property. Time reversal property where x of t is f of x of t is denoted as f of x of t. Then the time reversal property states that x into minus x of minus t is gives rise to f of x minus n. This is the time reversal. The time reversal is nothing but the negative of the time scaling property where if x of t is gives rise to f of x of t, then time scaling property is if x of a into t is equals to f of x of t, then the time scaling property changes frequency component from omega naught to a of omega naught. And differentiation and integration properties, f x of t gives us to x of t, where we differentiate is d of x of t by dt, where j n omega naught into f of xn. And integration property is the another property. Integration of x of t dt gives rise to f of xn by jn omega naught is the integration property. Now let us know in detail about time shifting properties of Fourier transform. The statement is time shifting property of Fourier transform states that if a signal of x of t is shifted by t naught in the time domain, then the frequency spectrum is modified by the linear phase shift of slope minus omega naught t. Therefore, if x of t is gives rise to f of t into x omega, then according to the time shifting, the x is denoted as t minus t naught, and here f of t is e power minus j omega naught x into x of omega. Numerical example, using the time shifting property of Fourier transform, find the Fourier series of e power a into mod of t minus 2. So the given solution is x of t equals to e power minus a into t minus 2. So Fourier transform of two-side exponential signal is defined as f of e minus at equals to 2a by a square plus omega square. This is two-side exponential formula. Now using the time shifting property, then as we know time shifting property is x into t minus t naught gives us to e power minus j omega naught t naught into x of omega is the Fourier transform. So as it is given in the question, e minus a t minus 2, then e power j 2 omega by 2a by a square plus omega square. It can also be written as e power minus j 2 omega by 2a by a square plus omega. So what does time shifting do? In broadcasting, time shifting is the recording of the program to a stored media to be viewed or to listen after the live broadcasting. So, typically, this refers to a TV program, but it can also refers to the radio shows via podcast. Time delaying shift all frequency by same amount of time, where the phase shift delay some frequency along the other. In fact, an all pass filter center frequency is defined as a frequency at which the phase shift is 90 degrees. So the time delay shift of all the frequencies at the same time where the phase angle is differed by the 90 degrees. One of these is time shifting, in which a quantity is added to the time parameter in order to get advance or delay. By advance is t naught my t plus t naught is delayed and t minus t naught is the advance, in which the time parameter is multiplied by a quantity in order to delegate or compress the signal in a time. While adding and subtracting, it is known as advanced or delay. By multiplying or by dividing, it is known as delegated or compressed. In year 1895, George Hudson, an entomologist from New Zealand, came up with the modern concept of daylight saving time. He proposed a 2 hours time shift, so he had more after work hour of sunshine to go bug hunting into the summer. And this is about the time shifting property in the Fourier series. Thank you.